and heat, the earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
This is TD Day. Total destruction by nuclear weapons. And from this hour forward, the world as we know it no longer exists. And over all the lands and waters of the earth hangs the atomic haze of death. Man has done his best to destroy himself. But there is a force more powerful than man, and in his infinite wisdom, he has spared a few.
Down there, let's go. Kill me. Kill me. Over there. Come on.
It's no use, Louise. I'm afraid you'll never see him again. No sign of life. New York, London, Rome, Moscow. Honey, check the Geiger counter.
$47 wrenching.
It's down another one. We might live. We just might live. I told him this day would come. I begged him to get ready for it.
Dad, someone's coming.
I can't let him in.
You've got to.
I only planned this for 3. You, me, and Tommy. I've only got provisions for 3. No more. Go to your room, Louise.
I won't let you do it.
Well, there's always one way to get into a place.
It's our lives are theirs, girl.
I'm letting them in.
That wasn't much of a welcome, mister.
No, you're not welcome. Put that gun down.
Come on, Tony, put it away.
Better give it to me.
Where I go, this goes.
I'll look after you later. Louise, take the girl in, give her a fresh change of clothes. Have her washed with some of the water in the sealed jars. Now you, go in there through to my room, change your clothes and wash yourself if you want to stay alive.
You sound like you're used to giving orders. That makes 2 of us.
I won't have to feed this poor devil. He's done for.
I couldn't just let him lie there.
740 rents. Don't touch him, Louise. You'd better go to my room and change your clothes. It's not too late already.
My brother is dead out there. He was only 30 feet from me. He died, I didn't. Can't understand it.
You'd better go and wash now.
22 years old. Doesn't make sense.
Didn't you hear me? Go change your clothes.
Go on, please. Do what Dad says.
You know the irony of it, of Bob? He was studying for the ministry. He was going to be a man of God.
Come on, son.
Come on in the house, quickly.
I wonder, ma'am, if you could make a place for me and Diablo here, because a woodshed'll do.
Well, I'm afraid not. Tie him outside someplace and come on in the house.
You hear that, Diablo? It's none of my doings. Come on, then. Yeah.
Another one, huh? That makes 7 of us. Now none of us will make it. You should have let me stop him.
I couldn't have lived with that on my conscience, and neither could you.
You get pretty good taste in sports shirts, mister.
Hey, honey, this is quite a snazzy-looking cotton dress.
Stand clear of him, miss. He's lit up like an atomic pile.
You can pass it on?
I'm not sure, but there's no use taking chances.
Then why take chances? What do we need him for? I'll just put him out of his misery.
No, you don't. Give me that gun.
Once and for all, mister, no one takes my gun.
Tony, look out!
I ain't gonna like you, mister.
I can stand it. Get up.
If I used my best judgment, I'd kill you right now.
He'll be all right, Captain. He steps out of line once in a while, but push him back hard, and he's all right.
Ruby, shut up.
You know, ma'am, I was thinking that he could sleep out in the kitchen with me.
Who?
Diablo. He's always used to having me around with him. Why, he was watching me when I uncovered that gold vein. Oh, I guess it's about that wide, and maybe a mile long.
Well, no, I'm afraid not.
No?
Come over here, all of you. I want to talk to you. This is the Geiger counter. It's recording 46 engines of radioactivity in this house now. 50 is considered dangerous, 500 fatal.
It all depends on the individual. Different people have different absorption capacities.
When I want an opinion, I'll ask for it. Now, we may live, we may not. There's a lot we don't know yet. Some of us may be dying now.
How long before we could leave this rural paradise?
I wish you'd never found your way to it, lady.
I got things working for me in Frisco. Big things. How long before we can get out of here?
Tell him, Louise.
There is no San Francisco. There are no radio signals, long or shortwave, from any city in the world.
Oh, you're kidding. No, Frisco, I don't believe it.
All right, that's enough. Listen to me now. The 7 of us in this room may be the beginning of a new era, a new civilization. I knew this day would come. I spent 10 years getting ready for it. Now, if you'll follow me here, I'll show you why we're still alive. This is my house, with its own generating equipment, its own food supplies. These hills surrounding are full of lead-bearing ore. They act as a barrier against radioactivity. Through these gorges, these canyons, blows a strong, steady wind with enough velocity to keep the radioactive contamination out of here. By some chance, each of you was in this sheltered area, except the man on the couch. He got to it too late. You can see the result. I don't think he'll live through the night. As long as the wind blows and the rains don't come too soon, we may live. That is, if we're not destroyed by other forces.
What other forces?
Never mind that now. Make no mistake about it. You're not welcome here. This was planned for 3 people. That's how much food we've got. Divide that among 7 of us, we'll find ourselves walking around with aching bellies. I have the key to the storeroom. I and only I will decide when and how much we eat. Any argument about that, I settle it with this.
Oh, you're a tough man, all right. Packing that gun. Just don't let go of it.
I don't intend to. You men will sleep in my room. I'll bunk out here.
You think he's got it too?
Maybe, maybe not. We'll know by tomorrow.
Cute guy like that. That'd be a pity.
I'm not gonna die. I thought I was, but I'm not.
You'll be all right.
You're my friend. I won't forget it. I'm hungry. I need food, meat, red meat, nearly raw. I don't know why, but it'll do me good.
I'll leave your order with the chef. Meantime, you better wash up and get into some clean clothes. If this Geiger counter's accurate, I wouldn't spend too much time out here.
You're no stranger to all this, are you?
I'm a geologist. My field is uranium exploration.
And you'd know that the real force of the atom has never been truly calculated.
I think it reached its fulfillment today.
But only as it affects our form of life.
You think any other form of life could have survived that?
I'm only saying that its true force has never been fully understood. You remember the H-bomb test at Matsuo some years ago? I captained one of the ships. 5 days after the blast, I towed the animal ship out of target 0. The world never had a true account of that test.
What are you trying to tell me?
Coyote. Lots of game in here now.
Contaminated game. Fighting for life just like we are.
They started coming in a week ago. It's like this valley was Noah's Ark.
What's the matter, Raddick?
There's game out there. I can tell. I can feel it. A man needs meat.
But it's contaminated. You'd die if you ate that.
You would. Not me. I can't live on this.
That's all you're going to get for a long time.
That's what you think.
It's doing nicely. Your plant of the future.
Celebrates a birthday tomorrow. 3 weeks.
3 weeks. I thought we'd all be dead by now.
But we're not. Even Raddick got out of bed today. Gives me the creeps.
Logically, he should have been dead by now.
There's no such thing as logic anymore. He hasn't touched food or water for 3 weeks. What does he live on?
He says he doesn't need food.
Last night he slipped out of the house. Didn't get back until dawn.
I'm afraid he's going out of his mind. He seems to live in a world all of his own.
He's a mutation, Rick. Freak of this new atomic world of ours.
I'm going out for a walk.
Don't go too far. Stay in sight of the house.
Why?
Because I tell you to.
I'm not afraid. I like it out there. Would you go with me?
No.
Dangerous, Rick. He should be destroyed.
No, Jim, it's important to us that he live.
But why?
Not sure yet. When I am, I'll tell you.
At this spot, I'll do a few simple dance steps. Boy, the contrast will kill him. Did you hear what I said?
No. Turn off that crummy record.
You only got eyes and ears for Louise, huh?
Shut up.
You don't like it when she goes out walking with Rick, do you?
I said shut up.
You know, I think I'm beginning to want to live again. It's taken 7 weeks. And you. Oh, Louise. What's the matter?
Didn't you hear that?
Hear what?
Let's go into the house, quick.
Are still moist. Look. Footprints. Raddick's.
You think he ate that rabbit? $49 ranching. Think a man could eat that poisoned meat and live?
Yeah. He spent most of his nights right out here in the woods.
No human could eat it and live. He defies all the laws of man and God.
There may be an entirely new set of laws, Jim, that we know nothing about.
Come out and say what you mean.
I'm only guessing. We know that even small amounts of radiation produce change. But if, for some reason, a man could live through complete saturation, 1,000 generations of changes could have taken place. It's only a theory.
Matsuo test.
What about them?
Nothing. Go on with your theory.
There may be more Raddick's. Worse than him. All of us have survived more cumulative exposure than we ever dreamed possible.
You were trying to say we might all become like Raddick? Stalking the woods at night? Eating raw meat?
It's possible.
What can we do, Rick?
My brother believed the Bible gave strength and revealed a plan for everything.
And I hope I find it before I lose my mind. Hello, honey. Listen to this. For I am with thee to save thee and deliver thee, saith the Lord. I will deliver thee out of the hand of the wicked. I will redeem thee out of the hand of the terrible.
I had enough of the Bible when I was a kid.
It's easy to see it had no effect on you, Tony.
I think you ought to tell them about the rain.
Yes, Rick, you're right. We're heading for rain. It'll be coming down through clouds saturated with nuclear death. I'm afraid there'll be no escaping it. But in case the weather clears and we do escape, starting tomorrow, we have to go on half rations.
Ha! What's half of nothing?
If we're still here when the weather clears, we'll start planting. I've stored seed and grain. Also, I've got books and materials on every craft needed by man to sustain life. We can all start reading them.
Tony Lamont. Farmer.
We're just about out of water, too. There's a waterfall not far from the house coming out of the mountains. I tested it today, and it's safe. Starting tomorrow, we bathe there.
I've used more water in the last 2 months than I have in 64 years.
Maybe that's why you're still alive, Pete.
Oh, this place looks spooky even in the sunlight. Boy, what I'd give to be standing back on Broadway listening to that traffic.
I didn't realize how isolated it was here.
You're good looking, country style, clean. Probably that's why Tony goes for you. You're something new to him.
Tony?
Hey, don't take his eyes off you. Can't see me anymore. But just don't you encourage him. Otherwise I'll make a play for that guy of yours. And that would be unfair competition for you, baby.
I'll remember that.
Tony will come back to Mama. He always does. What's the matter, kid?
We're being watched.
Where? I can't see anything.
There's something moving in the bushes.
Oh, it's probably one of the men. Boys will be boys.
Come on, let's get out of here. We'll go along the stream. It's quicker that way.
Oh, I need some breath. Will you hold it a minute?
I felt eyes staring at me. I heard it, too.
Hey, cut that out.
Come on.
Raddick's not the only one eating this game, Jim.
When they finish off the game, we'll be next. This place is cursed. Rick, we've got to kill Raddick.
He's our only chance to find out what we're up against. We can't kill him.
The animals at Matsuo, they predicted something like this.
Don't you think it's time you told me about Matsuo?
Yes, it is, tonight. After the others have gone to sleep. You'll think I'm crazy, just like the rest of them did.
I sneaked some more sugar out for you, Pete.
Well, thank you, Ruby. You know, he's been trembling ever since he got here. He's scared. Things are going on around here that he don't like. And you know, one of these days we're going to hightail it out of here.
Where will you go?
We got a gold strike on the other side of the hill.
Not much use for that stuff now, Pete.
No use for it. You ain't got it right, Ruby. All my life, I've been hunting for gold. And now that I've found it, it's up there, and I'm down here.
You're crazy. But don't feel bad. I think we all are.
Thanks for the sugar, Ruby. You know, Diablo is just crazy about sugar.
Cut that out, you old conniver. I know what you've been doing with that sugar. When the next batch of moonshine's ready, I want some.
How's the thing out there? How you feeling, honey?
Fine. Where's Rick?
He's out snooping. He'll be back soon.
I'll go outside and wait for him.
Don't go too far from the house, honey.
I just want to talk to you. I haven't said a dozen words to you since we got here. Look, what's so bad about me? Tell me. I'm not bad looking. I don't smoke, I don't drink. I used to give money to my mother.
Let me go. Please, you belong to Ruby.
I belong to myself.
Found some perfume in my bag. Smell nice?
It stinks. What are you smoking?
Some concoction of Pete's. He makes a brew, too. Don't that kill you?
Throw it away.
You really go for it, don't you? Nothing like a country girl who plays hard to get.
She makes me sick. Sorority clubs, country clubs.
Ready to come home to Ruby? Still got her on your mind, haven't you? It's jealous this time.
Oh, forget her. There are bigger things to worry about. According to Jim, there's only enough food for a month.
No, I wouldn't worry about that. I've got an idea we're not going to live that long anyway.
4 weeks for 6 people. How long can 2 people live on that? 12 weeks, get it?
Yeah.
You and me, Ruby. 3 months. After that, it should be all right.
Well, how are you going to get rid of 4 people? 5 counting Raddick.
Gotta get my hands on a gun. But the main thing is, are you with me, baby?
Raddick walked into that murderous vapor like it was just plain fog.
Rick, how much do you know about the Matsuo bomb test?
Only some rumors that nobody could actually pin down.
It's time I showed you something. As I told you, it was my job to tow the animal ship out of target 0. I got the first look at them. 1,000 different species.
I remember the newspapers said that they'd all been completely destroyed.
Papers lied, Rick. 3 of them lived through it.
Lived through the H-bomb?
There was a law against taking photographs, none against sketching what you'd seen. They were placed in cages, male and female of each species. That was a chipmunk.
That was alive?
It lived for 3 days. The 3rd survivor was a monkey. Its skin looked like rubber, but it had the feel of metal.
Armor plated. Nature's answer to complete nuclear radiation. 1 million years of evolution with 1 bomb.
They lived for 3 days. By the time we got back to the inspection ship, they were dead.
If we could find out why they died, it might help us.
I couldn't figure it out. Except they wouldn't touch food or water.
A new species. The ancestors of whatever we have out there.
Sometimes I have a feeling of doom.
All I know is there are 2 forms of life fighting for survival here in this valley. And only one of them can win. It's got to be us.
You're right, Rick. It's surprising how much strength I've drawn from you. I planned this whole thing just to stay alive. But you've given me a feeling of responsibility towards the future of our kind.
Thanks, Jim. I think I'll turn in now.
I've thought a lot about it. I'll talk to the girls in the morning.
The girls?
Yes. They should bear children as soon as possible.
Dad.
No, let him go. Rick will teach him a lesson.
I'm gonna kill you.
Are you all right, honey?
Get out of my life.
Wind's good. No sign of rain. Blasted girl, I'll speak my piece. I'm a blunt man.
I'm listening.
All right. Do you like Rick?
Yes?
Honey, could you love him? A sea captain can perform marriages in an emergency. I want you to marry Rick. I want you to have children.
There'll be no wedding and no children.
Honey, you've got to think of the future.
There's to be no future.
Yes, there is for you. You have a week to get used to the idea, huh? Aren't you listening to me?
Yes, Dad, I'll marry Rick in a week. If he's still here, if I am.
What's the matter, baby?
I'm all right.
You tell Ruby. I'll speak to Tony and Rick.
This is gonna open that storeroom door for me.
Can you imagine us with a kid? We won't tell him his old lady was a striptease artist.
Wonder what's wrong with Louise. She's been in her room most of the day.
Oh, I think she's going over a rocker. Maybe we all are. You still go for her, don't you? She wants no part of you, but you still go for her.
All I want is his key to open that storeroom door.
You and me, you said. But it's her you're thinking of, you rotten liar.
So I'm a liar.
Any friend you had in the world was me. Anyone who loved you was me. You cheap hood.
That's for you, lover. Now leave me alone.
Well, it's lost some of its density.
Not enough, Rick. We won't be able to go up there for 2 months. We're running out of supplies. A couple of weeks, all we got left. Don't touch it.
Look at his feet.
The footprints by the water.
Food. They wouldn't give me any.
Are there more of you up there?
Stronger than me. Much stronger.
How many more?
Not many, but strong. Food.
Be needing any food now, poor devil.
Look at his head, the bone structure.
The sketches you made at Matsuo.
Look. The same mutated skin the animals had. He said there were stronger ones up there.
Stage 2, this one. Stage 3, stronger. Stage 4, maybe invulnerable.
What about stage 1? You didn't mention that.
Radic is stage 1.
Smells like rain.
Something's happened to Diablo.
Come in.
Hi. Your father told me you weren't feeling too well. I'm sorry.
I'm feeling much better now.
Good.
Rick, there's something out there. You know that, don't you?
We're just guessing. We don't know.
I do. It tries to talk to me. Remember I told you at the lake I had a tingling sensation? Like I was being charged with electricity. My pulse was pounding and skipping beats and then pounding again.
You were just frightened, that's all.
It's been coming back every so often. Stronger and stronger. You don't believe me, do you?
I'm beginning to believe a lot of things I never believed before.
I'm glad you're here with me.
You know, he's getting so fidgety, Ruby, I can't do a thing for him. You know, I'm getting out of here, and soon, too.
Pete, I need a drink.
Well, you've come to the right place. There you are.
Thanks.
Ruby, you're my friend, and half of that gold is yours. This is a terrible place.
Thanks for the poison, Pete.
Won't hurt you a mite. You'd like a little of that snort, too, wouldn't you? Hmm?
Tony.
You've been drinking peach shellac again. I can't stand a boozer.
We've had fights before, but we straighten them out. Oh, Tony, you and me belong together. We're poured out of the same mold.
I wouldn't make book on that baby. I'm turning in.
You followed me the other night. I saw you.
You went over the ridge.
You went up there, you'd die.
I know. What do you do up there?
There's wonderful things happening.
What kind of things?
Maybe I'll tell you sometime.
Why not tell me now?
I like it out there. I don't like this house.
Why do you come back here to sleep?
I have an enemy. He wants to kill me. So I come here when I'm tired. I will tell you something.
What?
In a little while, all of you will be dead. You think I'm crazy, don't you?
I don't know. There's no doubt of it. It's starting to come closer to the house.
We'll stand night guard. Both of us. I'd use Tony, too, but I wouldn't put a gun in his hand. I know his kind. Spawned in Bilgewater.
You keep hoping, don't you?
We have to keep trying. Who knows, somewhere, somehow, we might get something.
Hey, Pete, the boat's rocking. Put an anchor on it. When I'd come on, they'd start shouting and whistling. And after a while, all you could hear was their breathing. It used to scare me the way they breathed. What's my wrenching count? Read me, Daddy. I was working the Follies when I met Tony. Remember? Now, about here, I'd start peeling. As I'd get near the wings, they'd give me a blue spot. And then I'd start to give them the clincher.
All right. I must have been dozing.
I guess everything's all right. Here, I'll take over.
Yeah.
Jim!
What's the matter, Ed?
Diablo's gone.
The burro? Maybe he broke loose.
No, he was untied from the tree.
Was Raddick in his bed when you came out?
No. Come on, let's go after him before it's too late.
I don't think he'd come up here.
Look, the body's gone. Wonder what happened to him. He was dragged down there. Jim, over here, quick.
Raddick ate him. The scavenging ghoul.
Might not have been Raddick.
It was him, all right. We've got to find him, Rick. If we do, I'm gonna kill him.
Diablo! He's gone!
What's the matter, Pete?
My burro! He's gone!
All right, Pop. I'll help you find him.
I know he's dead. There ain't no use of looking for him no more.
Well, we've come this far, Pop. There's no sense in turning back now. Come on, this way. Come on, let's go.
It's no use. It ain't no use.
Oh, come on.
Raddick. Look at his arm, Jim.
Yeah. What killed him, Rick?
3 punctures. Like steel daggers. Must be in there somewhere. I'm going after him.
No, he'll be fighting on his ground.
This thing has to be settled one way or another.
Like 3 steel claws. Defies understanding.
Steel claws, Jim. Like the surviving monkey on your animal boat.
I knew he was gone. We should have stayed on the top of the mountain, where we belong.
Come on, Pete. Come on home. We'll take care of it.
Who killed Raddick? You? Well, he had it coming to him. He was crazy. Look at his skin.
I saw it.
What happened to it?
Let's call it atomic skin. That's what radiation did to him.
How about our skins? Will that happen to us?
It might. We don't know yet.
Tony, come on, take Pete home.
What's the matter, kid?
Didn't you hear it?
Hear what? I can't hear anything.
I must have been dreaming.
Yeah. Go back to sleep, kid.
Go ahead, Captain. If that's what you gotta do.
Come back here. You'll die in there. You old fool.
Jim, what happened?
Pete. He went up on the ridge after his fool goal, and I went after him.
Into the vapor?
Hope into the cut. Louise is not to know, Rick.
Right. How long were you up there?
Long enough. I'll tell the others I hurt myself. It'll explain my being in bed.
Don't worry. Maybe you've developed an immunity to it.
Save your bedside manner, Rick.
I should have gone with Pete. At least he got somewhere.
Well, if it rains now, we'll all be joining him.
Rick, you've been on a level with me. I want to know the truth.
About what?
Look at that. Look at that skin.
What's the matter with it?
It's getting like radix.
Oh, no, it isn't.
You're lying, Rick. It's happening.
Feeling better, Dad?
That's better, honey. You okay?
I'm fine. I'm just worried about you, that's all.
I'll be all right, baby.
Where's Rick?
Outside looking around.
I think I'll go outside and look for him.
Okay.
Someone took one of the knives out of the kitchen.
You don't say. I think I'll go out for some air.
Let me go with you.
You stay here. I'll see you later.
Oh, I hate this place. I wish we had never found it. Look what's happening to my skin.
I've looked at it 10 times already. There's nothing wrong with it. Scream and I'll cut. I mean it. Now move that way. Sit down, Louise. easy to me. All my life, I had to claw for things.
What do you want?
You mean you don't know? There's something new in my life. I haven't had time for your kind of woman.
Don't touch me. I can't stand you.
Oh, you won't hate me when there's just the two of us. Be no point to it. Get what I mean?
Leave me alone.
Tony, let the little girl go.
Get out of here.
Run along, honey. I've got a few private words with Mr. Heel.
You don't know when you're through, do you?
The two of us, you said. But you meant her.
Yeah, that's right. Now you know. You're dime store stuff. You're cheap. I didn't know what it meant till just now.
She hates your guts, Tony. You're dirt to her. She'd wish herself dead first. Oh, Tony. What are we fighting about? We're like a couple of kids.
I want no part of you. Face it. Happy landing, sweetheart. Ruby wouldn't come back with me. We had this little beef, so she stayed outside to cool off. She'll be back when she's good and ready.
I have a little something to settle with you myself.
Tomorrow, maybe. I'm tired right now. Okay, so you can beat me up. What does that solve?
You go near Louise again and I'll...
Kill me. You? Ha! I haven't had a good laugh all day. I think I'll turn in now.
He'll kill you, Rick. Get him first, now. Take my gun.
Just sneak up on Tony and empty a gun into him. I thought you knew me better than that.
There's a lot at stake. At least carry a gun on you. Here, get one out of the storeroom. Be ready to use it.
Nothing, huh? Reminds me of a song. 10 little Indians. Then they get knocked off one at a time. That's the way it is with us. 4 of us left, then 3 little, 2 little, no little Indians. How long do you think before a guy can go up there?
I don't know.
Be something to see, what's left of New York or Chicago. Just thought it'd be a good idea.
Try that again and I'll kill you.
Sure, Captain. I know when I've had it.
What is it?
It called to me.
Oh, now stop that.
Don't leave me alone. Take me home.
Any idea what it looked like?
I didn't see it clearly, but I heard it.
Well, it was only 20 feet from you. I didn't hear anything.
Take me home. Just take me home.
All right.
How is she, Rick?
She's still pretty badly shaken. I give her a sedative. Hope it works.
Did you find out anything else?
She insists that it called to her.
What about its appearance?
Only that its skin was like Radix and...
Yeah, go on.
That it had more than 2 eyes.
Sketches of the monkey at Matsuo.
Jim, did that monkey grow any in size?
No, it didn't.
Louise said that this thing is man-size. That it's man, not animal. How can we fight it, Jim? How can we kill it?
You're the one that said we'd find an answer.
It lives on contaminated flesh. It thrives on contaminated air.
Things that kill men nourish it.
Things that kill men nourish it.
What are you driving at?
Jim, to kill it, we've got to understand it. And we know it has fears. It was close enough to Louise to attack her, but it didn't. It wouldn't follow her into the lake. Why?
Sounds like rain out there. Louise? Louise! Rick! Rick!
What's the matter, Jim?
See if Louise is all right.
She's not in there.
It's got her. You know how to use an M1 rifle? Get one out of the storeroom. It's all set to use.
What's all the noise?
It's got her. Go with Rick, Tony. Maybe between the two of you.
Oh, no. She's Rick's, remember? You gave her to him. Well, here's your chance to be Mr. All-American Hero.
Rick! Come close. You won't need the pistol. Slip it under my pillow. Rick, there's no other way out. Use that gun on Louise.
Louise!
It's dawn already. Well, Captain, looks like your ship's falling apart, don't it?
You've been no help. You wouldn't look for Ruby. You wouldn't help Rick find Louise. You're a low scum.
I'm a coward. I only fight when I have to and on my conditions. One of them is that I know what I'm fighting. That's better, Captain. There are 2 men and 1 gun. I like to have it. Voice came over.
No, it was nothing.
You're a liar. A dying man shouldn't lie. You think I don't know you went after Pete?
That's why you're so brave. That's why you're moving in.
Moving in? I'm taking over. The works. The house, Louise, if she gets back. I'd make a better father for her kids than Rick would. They'll be tough. Looks like rain. You still think it'll polish us off?
You'll know soon enough.
Back to the house, Louise. I'm going after it.
Well, there's your rain, but good. How long do you think we got to live, Captain?
Give me a sample. I'll test it.
All that action out there, and the lousy rain's got to finish us off.
Give me my Geiger counter. It's clear. It's just rainwater.
Well, what do you know?
Sou'easter did it. The lake. He was afraid of the lake.
What was afraid of the lake?
I can't hear it anymore.
Hear what?
The noise. I'm free of him. He tried to speak to me before. He called me by name.
Come on, let's go. You're soaking wet.
Rick, what killed him?
We'll talk about it later.
I feel so sorry for him. It's strange I feel that way.
Come on, let's go. I'll let your father know we're okay.
They must be signaling they're okay.
Go out and see.
I can see them from the window when they come. Yeah, that's it, all right. They're getting closer.
What are you doing with that gun?
I'm gonna kill Rick.
In God's name, why?
Thought you knew why. I want Louise. I think I see them now. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough shot. She's hanging all over him.
Get away from that window.
Shut up. Pretty soon now.
He's gonna kill Rick. I had to stop him.
That thing out there is dead, Jim. The rain killed it.
I took a test of the rain. Found it free from contamination. Kept praying, but I stopped worrying. I remember the animals on my ship. How they wouldn't touch food or water. And I knew why. That thing was created to live in a poisoned world. And the rain came, and it was pure.
Man created it, but God destroyed it. He brought the rain and fresh air.
If he couldn't live, then neither could the others of his kind.
There was a voice on the radio while you were gone. There are others out there. There's a future out there for you two. I've got to go and find it.
about ready, Louise?
Coming.